Alright everybody, it is Sunday, January the 26th, 2020. Welcome to the weekend smoke break. It's actually January the 25th for me. It is Saturday evening. I've had a very lazy, unproductive day where I slept and then I woke up and just snuggled with Dinky. I didn't do anything and I was like, I gotta get up. I can't, because this is how I fall into this just negative thought hole where you just sit and think all day, and I was like, fuck that. So I got up, took Daisy on a really long walk. I went to one of my favorite Mexican places to get they had this like chicken soup that has like rice and just everything that I wanted is in that soup. So I got the large, ate that, and brought Daisy with me for that too. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna knock out a smoke break video, and then I'm going to do a solo episode that will come out on Monday. So you're getting this on Sunday, and then tomorrow you will get the solo episode number 331 of Couch Talk. So I had it wasn't like a bad day at all at the beginning. I wasn't being that negative, but I found myself starting to like get more and more negative, and I was like distracting myself with my phone, and I'm like, I can't just waste this day away. But it's been the past week was like awesome. I was working in Amelia Island. It was far, but it was wrapped up with me and my dad playing golf, and that is actually the previous video. So you can go to the playlist Vlog Sylvania. There's only one of them because I've only done one, and that was yesterday. It is a vlog of me and my dad playing golf, and I think I know that it was me and my dad, so like I look at it in a different way than anyone else, especially people who don't even know me at all, like personally. I'm sure it's pretty weird, but I think it's cool, so go check it out. It's just like I said, it's me and my dad playing golf at this beautiful golf course, Oak Marsh in Amelia Island at the Omni Plantation. And it was also my Christmas present to my dad. I finally got to treat him. It was literally a whole entire month of us working so much that either A, we didn't have a day off, which out of the past month we probably had, I don't know how many days off, but definitely not more than 4. And on those days off, we were both tired, or he wants to do stuff with Vivi, which is totally understandable because like he's been working all week, so he needs to hang out with his family. And even though I'm his family, I've been hanging out with him all week, so I'm never going to be like, what the fuck, why can't we go play golf? Why do you always have to hang out with Vivi and your son? Like, of course I want him to do that. So it just was this perfect storm of Vivi was there with her family at Omni where my dad got a place for the week, and it just worked out perfect to where it was like, okay, well, you're already at the golf course, everyone's here, you're on this mini vacay, let's do it. So I loved it, and I'm only going to get better at creating the blogs. It's only 9 minutes long, but the first 5 or 6 minutes is me talking and explaining everything about it. So if you don't like golf at all, which is probably most of you, and I totally understand, it's probably because you've never really tried to get into it, but it's one of the most beautiful places that I've ever played golf or just been in general. Like, it depends what you're into. Are you into the mountains? Are you into the marsh? Are you into the beach? This is the marsh, and it is breathtaking. Marsh as far as I can see, and you don't have a bunch of human stuff in the way. It's very natural. The golf course is natural in the way that it goes with the land. Nothing is forced. They didn't have to do a bunch of damage to the environment. It's like very natural feeling, and I love the place. So go check that out. Smoke breaks are actually couch thoughts now, so I'm going to begin, and well, I'm actually not going to begin with the couch thoughts yet. I haven't even been smoking this damn thing. It's also my second cigarette of the day, and it is 8:45 p.m. So I'm doing a pretty good job of weaning myself off, and I think by this time next week I would like to be down to 1 a day or something. But last night I got horrible sleep, and I even finished the movie, but I finally watched the movie The Master, Joaquin Phoenix and Philip Seymour Hoffman. I mean, I've said it before, but this movie just further solidifies my opinion. Joaquin Phoenix is the best actor that I've ever seen. You never think you're watching him. That's what's so amazing about it. You're never like, oh, Joaquin Phoenix is doing a really good job. You're just believing everything about it. And in the movie The Master, he plays this really tortured soul who basically stumbles upon Scientology. And Philip Seymour Hoffman plays who would be Ron L. Hubbard. It's not literally Scientology, because I'm sure they'd get sued, but it's on a boat, there's the one leader making stuff up, all the same beliefs, they do everything just like Scientology. And I mean, there's this one scene where Joaquin Phoenix can't blink until the questionnaire is over, and if he does blink, they have to restart at the beginning. And I mean, god damn, I'm sure that they can, I know they can cut stuff in, but it was so good. I almost feel like it would be harder for them to cut stuff in, because like it's one of those things where like if you do that, you can tell it's not real. And watching this, it feels so painful to watch. And like Philip Seymour Hoffman does a great job. I mean, he's a bad motherfucker. He was a bad motherfucker, R.I.P. But those two, I feel like, were like, those are like prime acting performances. Unreal, man. Philip Seymour Hoffman, you don't think, and that's really hard to do with dead people, because when someone's dead and you see them acting, you think about, like, that was one thing, Heath Ledger, even though the entire buzz around that movie was, this is Heath Ledger losing his mind in this character, and even then you don't believe it's him. You don't think, well, it's not, you believe it, you don't think it's him. It doesn't even cross your mind. And this is the same thing with Philip Seymour Hoffman. You're not watching it going, man, Philip Seymour Hoffman's doing such a good job. You're just like into it, you know, and that is so hard to do when you're watching someone who's dead. Crushed it. Those two are amazing. Amy Adams is in it, and I've only finished 70% of the movie. I'm gonna watch the rest of it tonight, but Amy Adams, man, there's this one, because she's into it. She's like crazy as hell and like totally 100% on board with all these crazy beliefs. And man, she's doing this little like monologue where she's going off about how everyone's against them and their beliefs are real and they're all scared and jealous, and basically they're scared that once people find out about this, it's going to take over, so they're like trying to suppress it, whoever they are. But I mean, she seems so believable, and like you're like, damn, she is crazy. Everybody in it. The dude that looks just like Matt Damon when he was a kid, who was also in the very critically acclaimed episode of Black Mirror, where it's like the Star Trek episode where they create the game and they go into it or whatever. But he's in it. Also awesome. Like, it was just a cast of heavy hitters. It was 2012, and they crushed it. I can't wait to finish this movie. So now let's get into the couch thoughts as I take a root beer sip break. First couch thought. This Dolly Parton challenge, which I didn't know that was what it was called until I like researched it so I could call it what it was called on this fucking smoke break. But it's where there's like the 4 pictures of you, and it's like, this is my Facebook, this is my Tinder, this is my Instagram, this is my LinkedIn, blah 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 blah. How do things like that just take over? And why are they called challenges? What is challenging about it? The ice bucket challenge, challenging in the fact that if the word challenging can be used on a scale of 1 to 10 to describe difficulty, the ice bucket challenge was a 1 on that scale. Still qualified as challenging because you do have to fill up a bucket with ice water and get really cold, but I don't get the challenge or why everything is called a challenge. Like when everyone has to, the Kiki challenge, I guess, where people were hopping out of their cars and ghost riding the whip, and then it would wreck and they'd do all this dumb shit. Why? Where does the challenge come into? Is it, and it probably is because like it was focus grouped by Instagram to be like, when something's a challenge, everyone's got to do it type thing. But I hate it. I hate when stuff like that like take over, like the Dolly Parton challenge. It's not challenging for 1, and 2, like it's so dumb. Like, here's a picture of me on LinkedIn. It basically is showing that everyone puts up a facade of who they are. And it's crazy to think that they put up a facade of who they are on each different platform. Like, they put up who they think best suits this platform, and they put up who they think best suits, and who they think of themselves. That's what's nuts about it. Like, it's pretty disturbing. And this is what I love, because all I did was write down Dolly Parton challenge. I didn't really think about it. And, like, you just explore topics when you just, instead of reading what I'm, like, making a script, when you do go off the top of your head, you get to think about things, and, like, you think about them in a different way when you know you're being recorded. I feel like you're more reactive and you're working better. I feel like my brain is way quicker when I'm talking into a microphone or into a camera in this case. But next couch thought is, nothing is more annoying to me than, like, a SoundCloud rapper who makes a post where it's like, because you can only post 10 pictures, so it's 10 pictures of them. It's like they did a 2-minute photo shoot, and, like, they picked their best 10 pictures. Some of them are like, I can't be standing up, but some of them are counting money like this. Some of them are, like, holding down and looking. It's like, they're all variations of the exact same picture, and they're like, it's like $400 or something, and they're all in 20s and shit, which, like, I'm not hating at all. That's cool, but it's just funny to try to show off your money and stuff, and then be like, should I post a song tonight? Because what they're doing, another version is they'll make a video of them, like, smoking a blunt. Like, there's this app, it's kind of like TikTok, where it's like a song playing in the background, and then, like, if it's 1 minute long, there's 20 different little clips of, like, them doing stuff. And they'll be like, should I post this tonight? Like, just post it, okay? Like, don't ask. Like, why? Why are you asking? No one... And what? Like, you're not gonna post it? Has anyone ever been like, should I post this tonight? And regardless of what happened, they go, nah. They're posting it tonight, okay? Why don't you just say, this song drops tonight? It's so annoying to me that, like, the baiting of attention from people, like, baiting them into trying to, like, interact with you. Another thing, these are 3 things, like, my couch thoughts, I'm starting out as, like, 3 things I hate, like, so fucking negative. But, I hate when dudes will they'll, like, post a picture of some hot girl, like, either golfing, or there'll be, like, a video of a girl, like, throwing, like, a perfect spiral with a football, or, like, a girl doing anything sports related. That's all it is. That's all you see. And she's hot. And then the guy... like, post in the little comment thing or whatever, your caption, I guess, they say, marry me now, or she's perfect, marry me type shit. Like, because she can throw a spiral, marry you? Because she's hot and can throw a spiral. Like, that's what's so lame about everything. And on Tinder, like, when I had the Couch Talk Tinder profile to get the Tinder files going, none of them knew that I was not a person, that I was trying to get them to come on my podcast. I'd be like, okay, so when do you want to come on the podcast? That'd be the first thing I'd say, variation of that. And they'd be like, what are you talking about? Because nobody cares enough to get into knowing somebody. All they care about is what they look like, especially now with social media. Like, you gotta have somebody that when you're posting pictures of you and your boyfriend or girlfriend, it's gotta be another attractive person. Like, you gotta be with someone good looking. If you're not, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, people don't care about getting to know anybody. It's all surface level. And then, like, hanging out with somebody for a month is going to go good. Hang out with somebody for a couple weeks, not a month. But if you're, like, talking to somebody, the first 2 weeks are going to be good. And then they get too invested, and then they finally start figuring out who this person is. Instead of trying to figure out who this person is, and then determining if you like them or not, they just instantly like somebody based off of looks. They're like perfect, and it never works out. That's why like most relationships now never work out, because it's going backwards. Like, people are already in the relationship when they start trying to get to know the person. It's fucking insane. So another couch thought moving forward now is, now that GPS is out, and it doesn't matter at all, it's not like anybody's like doing these calculations in their head when they're driving of like what the mileage says to the next exit, but it like really bothers me for some reason when the GPS will say 2.8 miles. I've seen it say 2.7 miles, and then you're still like a couple hundred feet away from the sign that'll tell you how far it is to the next exit, and it'll be like on your GPS 2.7, 2.8, and then on the sign 3 miles, and you're like to me that bothers me. I don't know why, but it bothers me. I know it's completely irrational, but it really does bother me. So I heard a quote by Jordan Peterson, and he gave so many different variations of it that basically I think it's really cool. It says, now this is me just summing it up, and I'm going to read here. Basically, the fundamental problem of life isn't which beliefs of the unknown are correct. The fundamental problem of life is how to conduct yourself regardless of which belief is correct or not. So I think that's really cool, because so many people get into trying to prove that what they believe is right, and it doesn't matter. Like, you should just be trying to figure out how to live and be a good person. You shouldn't be a person based off of beliefs. Like, whatever you believe about religion shouldn't, like, okay, so what would happen, because if you're living that way, where you live your life as Christianity, and then something happens that completely proves that Christianity is false, and we find out the truth. We find out either that another religion is correct, or that we're in a matrix or something. We find out that undeniably Christianity is not true. Okay? So then, if you're living based off of which beliefs are correct or not, you're going to change who you are as a person, most likely, and you're not going to continue to live on that righteous path. You're like, if it's a matrix, then nothing matters at all. You're going to drastically change. Like, you should just be trying to live as a good person. You shouldn't be trying to live what a belief says a good person is. You know inherently, especially if you're an adult by now, you know what is right and what is wrong. Live what is right, or at least try. Like getting sober for me. Like, if I'm getting sober for somebody else, then if that doesn't work out, then you're gonna relapse. So until you can finally do it for yourself, and like, and really like not, and truly not do it for anybody else. Like, you gotta not in any way, like, you can't be getting sober to be like, oh, I don't want my dad to be disappointed, because then if something happens between you and your dad, or maybe if whoever you're doing that for passes away or something, then you're gonna give up on it most likely. Or I'm gonna get sober so I can get this person back. Like, if you don't get back with that person, then what? You know, you got to be like, I'm doing this for me because I hate who I am, and I don't know who I really am, but I know that I have the power to become exactly who I want to be. So I can't do that doing this, and I'm not getting anywhere, and I'm not going to go anywhere continuing to do this, and I do want to go somewhere. So I need to begin doing that. And the only way that I could start doing that was to quit doing drugs, because it's such a crutch, and it keeps you stagnant though. Like, it's almost like a treadmill. Like, sure, you can get on it and run, but you're not actually going anywhere. And when you're using, like, for me, I'm self-medicating, so when I would do it, it would be like getting on the treadmill to work out. Like, sure, I would feel better, but I wouldn't be going anywhere. And you just keep not going anywhere and keep not going anywhere, and then eventually you don't even really feel better, and it's just, and then eventually you feel worse, and you're like, fuck. So you either continue to succumb to it, you make up a reason for you to quit that is not for you, and the cycle continues until, at least for me, I believe that until I could actually do it for myself, it was never going to happen. It could happen for a few months, it could happen for a year, blah, 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 but it wouldn't last forever if I was doing it for anything or anyone other than for myself. So, last couch thought here is, not only have I never eaten Spam, I've never been offered Spam, I've never seen it outside of a can, and that is white privilege. So thank you very much for listening. Go check out the Vlogsylvania #1. It is in the playlist Vlogsylvania. It is also the most previous upload if you're just looking at all the uploads in order of date added. And also, I'm going to be giving you a solo episode. Go check out episode 330 if you have not checked that one out already. It's also under solo episodes, that playlist. So I'm going to keep pumping out content. I'm going to keep trying to move forward, and I hope you keep trying to do the same, and I hope you keep listening. So you can follow me on Instagram at CJCouchTalk and DM me if you have any questions, comments, insults, or would like to be a guest. Or you could also email me. It is cjcouchtalk@gmail.com. It is C as in Christ, J as in Jesus, C as in Christ, O as in ostrich, U as in uranium, C as in Christ, H as in horses, T as in tantalizing, A as in ass, L as in labia, K as in kaboom. That's how you spell CJ Couch Talk. That's how you do a smoke break. And this is how I tell you I love you. I love you. I will talk to you tomorrow for episode 331, The Soloist. Bye.